看着同星空，喝了吹風，看日出多心動。從每日前一起，傻傻講起，能愛到下世紀。怎麼你俘虜這個心，卻抽身退隱不再親近？獨是苦等，仍然空等難藏淚人。看着電話中的神聽着錄音的口信，昨天比你那天再接近。Tell me where did you go? 心聲都不可細數。Oh, tell me, baby, where did you hide?
So this singer is really interesting. I kind of didn't know what to make of her for the first few seconds there. She is doing a lot. I'm not sure what to think yet. I'm gonna watch more. We've already got a long and loud. Go forever. So that always gets people on their feet, as we know. She is a great vocal technician, from what I can tell. She is making some choices that, to me, seem sometimes indulgent so far, which means more fun for her than the listener, but probably a lot of fun for the listener too, right? Lots of interesting sounds, but kind of busy, maybe. Okay, so this was slightly out of tune, but I kind of like to hear that sometimes because it tells me that this is raw and real and authentic and honest and probably pretty unedited. So, you know, if you're out a few cents, that's what we call it. That was a particularly long hold to be out, but it happens and it's human. But it did make me scrunch my face a little bit.
Where did you go? Thank you.
Her name's G.E.M.
Hey, sister, go,
Okay.
sister, go, sister, hey, sister, go, sister, so, sister, flow, sister, hey, sister, go, sister, go, sister, hey, sister, go, sister, flow.
Hey, man, down the old Moulin Rouge, strutting a song on the street. Say hello, hey Joe, you wanna give it a go? Oh, get you, yeah, yeah.
You know, the tail ends of phrases is often where you can look to see how in control a singer is. So I will say that this song, I know this song, it's a not easy song. It's a very diva, complicated song. We're not even into the real meat and potatoes. But already she's not really executing the tail ends of these phrases. They are a little sloppy. Real lady marmalade is how that line goes. Real lady marmalade, marmalade. She said, real lady marmalade. So we're not really getting any isolation in those notes. Now, she's walking around. She's not doing a whole lot of dancing yet, but that does affect things that she, I don't know, maybe I'm making excuses. I don't know. She doesn't have great control so far.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? He said it before, she fresh now. Boy, drank all that, but no one on her like satin she's earthbound freak. Get you, yeah, da, da.
Da-da! It's interesting seeing artists that I don't know. I'm assuming that this is an artist you all know and love, but just coming from a purely vocal place, she's technically not super solid, but she may have other qualities that you guys have become attached to. So I'll keep watching.
Get you, yeah, yeah. Bongo chocolate, yeah, yeah.
She always says, yeah, yeah. First of all, when you hear a singer do a sound repeatedly, you start to realize that it's a habit. It's not something they necessarily want there. They just put it everywhere. Second of all, I think it's a workaround sometimes for being accurate. Vibrato is another example of that. Sometimes people put vibrato when they're not terribly accurate, but this, I call it a cry. It can take up space for just being accurate sometimes. So she can sing quite high quite easily. You see no strain or stress in her body, and we don't hear any stress or strain when she goes up into high notes. So that's great. But she is the type of singer that would potentially benefit from a little bit of poly editing in the studio. Now she's happily doing this live performance, and it's in another language, and she's having to do sexy little moves, and there's people's heads poking out, and she's interacting with things. So that's hard. But I'm still not, I can't say that she's a great vocalist, but she has a lot of access to the high notes, and she has lots of style. I just don't know if the style is all on purpose. I think some of it is a result of her not having the technique to do other things. So a singer that was really technical would probably be taking advantage of what the back vocals are doing right now. But she's sort of not. She's letting the back vocals do it. If you had a singer like Christina Aguilera, she'd be all over the place, taking up space, doing some interesting things with her voice. She's just doing interesting things with her body. Yay! Is what we just got. I think that it was probably meant to be more of a riff. Yeah! Or something, you know what I mean? Actually kind of was reminiscent of an Ariana Grande sound. This was pretty sound. I don't love this choice.
Real lady Marmalade.
But she does have pretty great access to those upper, thicker notes. And she's pretty in tune up there. She seems pretty at ease. She's not struggling to get up there, so that's cool.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
You know, and I also want to say, I'm critiquing at a pretty high level. I mean, the audience is clearly enjoying this. I'm just coming from a purely vocal technique and vocal art perspective with a magnifying glass. So it's okay if you love her. Don't be mad at me. I'm just telling you what I hear.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
You know, isn't it funny how with some singers and with some artists, even when they do execute something reasonably correctly or well, it doesn't always land artistically? Because there's some things she's doing that aren't wrong or they're not out of tune, but they don't seem sincere to me. Maybe that's the best way to say it. It just seems like a person making sound more than a person really using their instrument. That's how it feels to me. But I have no attachment to her. I don't know her history. So if you do feel attached, that's also okay. But to me, she seems detached from what she's doing, and it's more an activity that she's doing with her body than something she's birthing forth. That's kind of a weird way to say it. She has yet to do yeah, yeah, which is what it is in every version of this song. Yeah, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. But she keeps going, yeah, yeah. So the problem with that is, A, that's not how it goes, and this is a very popular song here anyway. B, that cry, huh, is pulling it out of tune temporarily because that's the nature of what that cry is, right? We're kind of jamming the pitch up and pulling it back down. So every time she does it, we experience a quick second of, ooh. And also, I don't know that it suits the moment. Yeah, yeah. Instead of yeah, yeah. And the other thing is, I want you to notice when I do that, I'm going to do it 2 different ways. First, I'm going to do what she's doing. Yeah, yeah. What if I did it like this? Okay. Yeah, yeah. That does not involve my mask. The back of her tongue is getting up high, so we get a nasally sound. Yeah, yeah. Versus yeah, yeah, yeah. That will not involve my nose at all. Yeah, yeah. But then I could at least go, yeah, 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 yeah. She's specifically placing the sound, yeah, yeah. So we get that nasally, masky sound. Not my favorite. So beautiful, beautiful support, and then yeah. And then we get more of this weird thing at the end. But I see why she has an audience and a spotlight. She has lots going for her. I just think the fine details aren't there. But maybe this is an older video and maybe they come. All the drama. Okay, so you've discovered you're a bit of a nasal singer. What can you do? Let's start with a little exercise. What's the purpose of this? When we say the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. When we say ga, it should be the complete opposite. The jaw and tongue should relax down. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have seen nasal singers work really hard and become not nasal singers. But the truth is, it takes a lot of work and often a good investment of time. But it can be done. When I say relax, what am I talking about? Well, we need to get the tongue to relax down and away from the roof of the mouth, especially at the back, mid and back. You can't force it down or else it just pops up somewhere else. And the soft palate has to lift. And if you want to experience that, say, hey, and you'll feel the lift. It's a lot of things.
阳光下的泡沫。